The 14th President of the United States was Franklin Pierce, who served from 1853 to 1857. His life, although not as well known as some other presidents, is full of interesting events, as well as mysteries and speculations that continue to intrigue historians and conspiracy theorists. Franklin Pierce was born on November 23, 1804, in Hillsborough, New Hampshire, into a family deeply involved in politics. His father, Benjamin Pierce, was a prominent political figure, and his mother, Anna Kinn, belonged to an old aristocratic family. Franklin was the fourth of 8 children, and his family had a strong influence on him. He attended the town school in Durham, then went on to Bowdoin College, graduating in 1824. In 1827, Pierce was elected to the New Hampshire legislature. He quickly earned a reputation as a skilled orator and worked in various government positions. However, his real breakthrough came in 1837, when Pierce was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives and later to the Senate. Career and presidency. Pierce was a strong supporter of the Democratic Party and an advocate of territorial expansion. His political rise took place during a time of deep division in the United States over issues of slavery and states' rights. He actively supported compromises such as the Kansas-Nebraska Act, 1854, which allowed new territories to decide whether they would be free or slave states. This decision led to violent clashes between pro-slavery and anti-slavery factions, known as Bleeding Kansas. In 1852, after President Millard Fillmore declined to run for a second term, Pierce was nominated by the Democratic Party and won the election. His presidency took place amid growing political tensions over the issue of slavery, and his attempts to bring peace between the North and South were, in hindsight, unsuccessful. Franklin Pierce's personality. Franklin Pierce was a man marked by personal tragedy. His son, Benjamin, died in a tragic accident at the age of 11, just before Pierce took the presidential oath. The death of his son was a devastating shock for the family and had a profound effect on Pierce's psyche. He later admitted that this tragedy deeply influenced his political actions, making him more withdrawn and troubled. Many contemporaries noted his tendency toward depression, and his wife, Jane, also suffered from mental health issues, experiencing several periods of serious emotional distress. Along with these personal tragedies, Pierce began to rely on alcohol, which often affected his political life. Mysteries and conspiracies. Throughout his life, Pierce faced accusations and rumors, some of which remain unresolved. One of the most famous myths concerns his mysterious illness in the late 1850s. Some historians speculate that Pierce may have been the victim of a conspiracy aimed at ruining his career, and that his diagnosis of alcohol poisoning might have been a cover-up for the effects of political intrigue. Another historical enigma surrounds his involvement in the secret society Order of the Golden Sleeve, members of which were accused of manipulating election results and secretly controlling politics. While there is no direct evidence, many assert that Pierce was linked to this society and that his presidential decisions were not always sincere, but rather dictated by hidden interests. Interesting facts and legends. Nickname, Blues. Despite his tragic reputation, Pierce earned the nickname Blues from the English word blues, sadness, depression, due to his emotional suffering and bleak outlook on life. Bleeding Kansas. As president, Pierce actively supported the creation of pro-slavery territories in Kansas, which led to violent confrontations. His decision is widely seen as a catalyst for the American Civil War. Retirement from politics. Pierce was so disillusioned with his political career that after his presidential term ended, he withdrew from active politics, and his name virtually disappeared from public consciousness for decades. He refused to participate in the 1860 election and resolutely rejected any return to the political arena. The Pierce and the Witch legend. One of the popular legends about Pierce involves his alleged meetings with a mysterious woman who, according to some historians, may have predicted the downfall of his political career. The myth of the Mad President. One of the most widespread theories is that Pierce was not only a depressed man, but also suffered from a nervous disorder, making him an unstable leader. There is a belief that his actions were sometimes marked by political madness. Conclusion. Franklin Pierce remains one of the most enigmatic U.S. presidents. His life was full of tragedies and complex political decisions, many of which continued to influence the country for decades after his presidency. His personal life, weighed down by the death of his son and family tragedies, and his political decisions concerning slavery and territorial rights, made him one of the most controversial and fascinating figures in U.S. history.